Hi everybody, Jillian here, today to share with you another process video using the January Faith Art Box from Creative Retreat. Today I am going to be doing something a little different in my Bible, and I am in Matthew 22 verse 37, where Jesus gives the greatest commandment to us. So I already have something journaled on this side of the page, so I don't have a problem moving over here. And so today I want to use these tags that came as a subscriber exclusive in the January box. I want to use 3 tags, but I only have 2. So today I'm going to show you how I use some scrap white cardstock and gold embossing powder to create a look similar to these using some of the products in January's box. So I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on fast forward and get started. I was very much inspired by the stamp set in the kit this month, and so I jumped immediately into Matthew 22 verse 37, which says, Jesus replied, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind." And then he goes on to say in verse 38, "This is the first and greatest commandment." I thought it would be really fun to give one tag for each of those 3 things. Elsewhere in Deuteronomy and in Luke, I think even the idea of loving the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength is in there. But since he just mentions these 3 in Matthew, I'm going to go ahead and just use 3 tags for this. So you can see I layered the finished tag on top of the white cardstock and just cut around it to get a template, and then I'm taking some washi tape that I had on my desk and I'm using that as a mask. Then I'm taking this little wonky heart stamp from the stamp set and using some Versamark ink to stamp that around, and it was a little difficult to see where the ink was because it's clear. So it's kind of a weird pattern that I made, but once that's stamped out, I'm going to go ahead and use the gold glitter embossing powder and pour that over the Versamark. It sticks to it, and then just scrape away some of the stray embossing powder with a dry paintbrush. So I make one mistake, probably one of many, but the first one I want to give you guys a tip about is to, if you do decide to do this, to peel off the washi tape from your tag before you use the heat gun, because if you put the heat on the washi tape, it may be very difficult to get it up. So I realized that like a quarter of the way through embossing this, and then went ahead and was able to pull it up without a problem. But I did have a little bit of a problem in that some of the embossing powder came off of the Versamark ink. So I went back and simply stamped over it in the exact same spot with some more ink, and went through the steps again of adding the embossing powder and then heat embossing it, and it came out pretty nice once I was able to fix that mistake. Now that I've got the tag made, I'm going to go ahead and use the stamps that say love and the Lord your God, and just use some black ink to stamp that down in the margin of my Bible, and then I'm going to have the tags kind of layered underneath that. So I love this big scripty L that's in the word love. It's so beautiful and it's so bold. Then I just went ahead and cleaned that off with a baby wipe and then stamped down the phrase the Lord your God underneath that. Then I'm going to use a brad to attach these 3 tags to the Bible page. So I am going to put a hole in the page, but it's okay. The brads I had originally pulled out were too small for the hole, so I had to use a bigger one and one that was kind of this aqua color, and I really like how this looks with the golds and the purples. So I decided to leave enough room underneath the stamped phrase to write out with all your, because the verse does say love the Lord your God with all your. And so then I thought about just handwriting the words heart, soul, mind on the tags, but felt that that wasn't fancy enough, so I decided to go to these tile alpha stickers that came in the kit, and I really liked how the purple color went with this aqua color. So then I decided to just spell out the words heart, soul, and mind with these tile stickers. And I didn't get them down exactly straight. I didn't want to have my head in the way the whole time, so they're a little wonky, and I don't mind that look at all. You can see here that I was aware that the tag on the top would hang over the 2 underneath it, so I kind of moved it out of the way to see where I should put the sticker so that you're able to read it and it's not covered. So once I had all of those done, I decided to go ahead and write on the tag just using a precision pen. And I'm a practical person, and I like to have specific ways of how I can love God in these ways kind of written on the tag. And these certainly aren't all of them, but these were just some examples that I wanted to include. So I wrote, "Be consumed with the things of God, obey and honor Him in all things. Pray, share Jesus Christ with others, and study God's Word, commit it to memory, and honor Him with your thoughts." So, those are just a few of the practical ways to love Him with my heart, soul, and mind. So once those are done and I make sure that the ink is dry, I'm going to go ahead and stack them up in the right order and then take the brad and thread it through all three holes and then push it through to the back of the page and close the prongs. You can see here that I accidentally put it up too high so it covered the words "with all your," and I was just easily able to move it down a little bit. And that's it. I love the way that they all look fanned out. So that's it. Pretty simple. Here's a couple close-ups. If you guys are interested in the January Faith Art box, I've linked it below, as well as a link to the blog so you can go check out what other projects the creative team is cooking up this month. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.